There's stories that they tell of divine wars when um, high vibrational um, individuals at one time that were created or were existing had a battle with reptilian energy, right? And the ending of this energy, or the conclusion of this battle, had to do with the subsequent value of the reptilians being silenced, not being able to speak, whatever that meant for that time, and not being able to eat. So they couldn't eat how they like to devour before, and they couldn't speak using, in my understanding, if I was just to take a guess, because that's all that was said in the story, they weren't able to speak anymore and they weren't able to eat. In my understanding, that had to be a particular vibrational language that was spoken and nobody speaks today, which would keep certain entities in communication, and communication is very, very valuable, especially when you're trying to control. So what am I getting at? Being controlled, you have to have a dialect to be able to do that. And for the most part, what we're dealing with now is the same thing, but in a different aspect. It's like you're still being controlled without knowing that you're being controlled. And it was always like bewildering to me. I watched commercials back in the day, and they would get on TV and they would say, talk about your problems, discuss your problems to family and friends. Now, your family and friends would never come to you and be like, you know what I'm saying? And back in the 70s, they did. They showed you that on TV shows. Like, hey, you look like something's bothering you. Would you like to talk about it? Like, they had so many little increment values to where they would interject in each family ways to make you spill the beans. And why do I say it that way? Because that allows you to sell the divine short. That allows you to turn your back on the divine. Whether you know that's what you're doing or not, that is what you're doing. When you go to someone else with your problems before you sit down within yourself and give it to the divine and work that shit out in higher consciousness, when you give it to somebody else as a problem, you are sending out negative energy. Whether you're telling a story or not, you're sending out negative energy, and that negative energy is landing on these individuals. Whether they know the gist of the story or not, you are placing that karma on them, and they're accepting it because your ears are addicted to hearing things. Your eyes are addicted to seeing certain things. So this is why you run to do shit. People get a reprieve for one day, and then you want to run back and do the same thing over and over. You looking to get your ass cut for the rest of your life by the divine. Facts. It'd be mind-blowing to me, Everybody like, let's talk about it. Well, man means mind. Whether it's a woe mind, whether it's a woe mind or a mind. First thing in the universe ever created was the womb. And the only way people can describe the womb, or individuals after the fact of the creation, only way they could describe it was by the outside attributes of it, not by its capability. Oh, it's dark. It spins. It looks like it's pulling. You don't even know what you're looking at. You just describing from an outside point of view. And still to this day, you got people trying to run, go tell. Let me run, go tell you what I found and discovered. Something my cousin told me years ago. He was like, we swift and changeable, never remainable, but always the same though. That means the mysteries of the divine it's not for everybody. It might be for you at that present moment. And that's the most important thing, dealing with that in the present moment. For you, for your existence, not for the whole world, for you. Because it's going to make you better. But that keeps going over people's head, and everybody want to run, go talk about that, instead of fixing it inside yourself. Look, I ain't gonna hold you. But everybody claim they getting close to divine, while everything in your actions speak different. Naga.